Polished punk crop. It's an edgy, disconnected short layer that is polished into a punk, an active, or a glamour look by your choice of surface styling product. To begin our cut, we'll first start working with the protein cream, misting it through, and then we'll section through our nape and start rocking with our punk crop. Working with the 7-inch surface swivel, I'm able to truly control the hair, lift it over top my comb, and our hairline is quite high, so I want to lift it up and away, leaving the scissor over comb longer than we have in some of our past crop lines. So you can see how that beautiful fringe just falls right out. Lifting that opposite side now, watch the comb on the side here, and just to ensure I'm leaving my length, I take and I turn the shear so that the tip of it is pointing away. All too often, if you're cutting palm 2, you cut that corner off. See that nice corner that stays in? I'll be able to work with that afterwards. Coming to my opposite side, let me lift this up. Thumb on the bottom of the comb, always tipping the teeth away. And there's my guide, taking that line down. Now let's sit down and really take a look and see how that falls. Love the length. Now it's time to pull out the razor. Now we've sectioned around the side ridge from left to right, around the top of our crown. We'll take the section right in the middle of the back, combing it straight out, and I'm going to hold it out at a 90 from the head and allow the length to actually fall over just slightly the disconnected area. So we'll take this line, lift it out, and a soft little stroke, just like butter from a butter dish, as I round that line away. So that's my guide in through the middle. Everything else is going to come directionally from it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in, I'm going to pick up the guide and start working in the direction that I want that hair to move. One of the keys to working here is the razor that I'm working with, our surface razor, has a silica guard, which really protects the hair as I'm cutting. I'm really aware of how I'm going to elevate that section up to create softness in my line. The higher the elevation, the more softness that I'm creating. And I'm using quite a large stroke as I'm cutting here as well. So taking that line, taking that edge forwards into the face. Now what we're going to start doing is we'll take it, and I want to see where I want to take the weight away. So I've got that line and direction, and I just want to see how it's falling, especially in through the temple. I want this to fall tighter, so I'm going to shatter that line down. Hold that out and shatter that line down. So I'm really reading how the hair is falling. Got some beautiful dark black weaves in around the face here, and we're maintaining them for a frame. So we'll come in here. My outer perimeter line is always like drawing an arrow in that direction, so we're working a little shorter over the ear and staying longer into the face so we can really hollow that cheekbone out. Shattering that deep to the hairline, but keeping it uncut. So I'm using the tip of my razor just to shatter that line down really nice and deep. Take that temple nice and tight. So let's start to see how this hair is falling in. The shorter from the back, pushing it away, pushing it away, pushing it away. And we can come into these corners that we've left longer off the first and start to do some personalization with them. See where we want to leave some length, where we want to take it in just a little bit tighter. And now we'll move to the opposite side of the head. The same type of technique where we're going to come in. We pick up the guide that we cut through the center, comb that nice and smooth, elevating it up, and let's shatter this line in the direction that we want that hair to move, giving a really nice soft movement to it. As I move into the side now, let's lift this line up. Again, remember it's that elevation that creates the soft graduation as it moves into the face. So I'm really creating my perimeter line at that point to see where that line is falling, and now I can come back into it, pick it up on a diagonal, and it's that diagonal that really takes the weight out of it. Arch it in behind the eye, that nice shattering line that we've got, and start working with the diagonals to take that weight away and collapse the line into the head. Working shorter over top of the ear, longer into the face. Now we've sectioned across the high point of the head, sectioning out the black zone. I'm going to start in through the center doing an up blend. So I take the guide that we've already cut, hold it straight out, and I come from underneath, rounding with the shape of the head. The reason I'm cutting from underneath is I want that end beveled so when it lays down it's got a little cupping motion to it. So let's work all the way around my crown now, holding the hair straight out and then beveling up with the head. So work all the way around, hold that section out, and bevel that up. Working all the way around, hold that section straight out, and we create that bevel from underneath and up. Lift it up, underneath and up. Underneath and up. And you can already see that beautiful round shape setting in for us. The whole key is everything is cut from underneath and up. Now what we're going to do is we're coming in and we're going to lay in our part line. So let's take this line, lay that part line in. It is so important. I just want to stress it is when you begin your layers for the top, start with your part line in mind. All too often people lay in a 90 layer and then try and style the part in. We're going to cut it in. So we're going to lift this up. There's my guide, and I'm going to shatter out to length. This is called a progressive layer. I want to let some of that top hair fall just a bit longer for now. So let's lift this up and out. And as we're going to push to the side, as I come across the top, I start to take these sections on a diagonal. Having blended our top across, we're now going to come in, pick up the disconnect, and up blend for the time when we really want to punk this line out and to give us some great volume in through the sides. So just on the side where that disconnection falls now, we up blend that line with our razor. Short hair getting ready to push long hair away now. This is our part side on the left. So we're going to create a little bit of a deeper up blend, taking a little bit more hair so that we can work with some really exaggerated parts if we so desire. So take that line and shatter that all up and away, really giving us some nice support in those corners, giving us that lift that we want. Now, coming into our fringe, we're going to come in and section this fringe away and work with some compression cutting. Okay, we've sectioned the arc of our fringe. We pulled it right to the center. We're going to twist it once just to leave a little bit more length on our corners. I'm going to take this down, and just depending on where your artist eye want that length, I'm going to take it and snip we go. So when this releases back, we have more length that falls into our corners and around the face. And we've left just a little bit of that soft hair that can just so ever so lightly fringe in over the top to edge that. Now, if you find, as I do here, that that fringe underneath might be just a little bit too heavy, what I'm going to do is lightly take that top hair away that's going to overhang and just ever so lightly on the ends, take my RZ blender, tap, tap. And this is where the three edges really make the difference for you. The razored tooth inside the one cutting tooth really gives you that nice taper. So let's take that, lay it down, and where I want my lift, it's sort of it's a choppier lift than I've seen in past seasons. So we're going to lift this up, take the blade in at my crown, hit, and out to my ends. So when I hit, I'm lifting away, and lifting away, 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 lifting away. Just taking that and getting that really nice RZ texture happening all throughout, and lift away, and lift away, and lift away, and lift away. Just where my eye really sees me wanting to have that really nice separation falling through. Now, on my outer perimeter, I want a very uncut feel as well. So my final detailing, I leave to my last, and I'm going to come in, take the edge down, and I'll just use the tip of the surface razor to give me separation. Depending on the hairline you're working with, you can just work with zero tension on it as well. Just getting a really nice separated flow to that hair. I like to sit back at this point, really take a look and see how we're falling, and know also when we're dry, we may come back in and do just a little bit more detailing. The ultimate in being able to style the true polished punk is our texture paste. The vegan fibers create an unbelievable texture throughout the hair, giving me volume, giving me control. You can see I can let this dry naturally, but my preference is to lightly blow dry with my hand for texture, and then to come in and really do some final detailing with the texture paste dry as well. Now the texture paste is giving me all type of movement, all types of fiber in through the hair, and I can sit back and see where I want to put any finishing touches. Never even used a brush whatsoever here, just allowing the haircut to do the work. Where I'd like to see just a little bit more accent is right in through this crown area here. So I'm coming in with the RZ blender and I'm running it. That's where my thumb is moving very, very quickly, just up and through this crown and really running that base. The reason is I want more of a shorter area to support this right in through the crown here and running that base through. So when I take this down and I lift it away, I've got just a shorter movement that pushes all that extra length away. It just becomes a little bit airier. Let's come in again with a little bit of the texture paste now that it's dry. Using that texture paste to just do some final detailing, and oh my goodness, my dear, you are ready for the studio. On behalf of Surface, welcome to Polished Punk, the crop.